Hey guys, Ralph here. It's barely 5 o'clock here in Norwalk, Connecticut. So I am not going to let loose with some double C's and all this sort of stuff. My wife and daughter are still asleep. Okay? But what I am going to do, and on top of that, I wasn't even sure I was going to get a video up today either. I have an absolutely ridiculously busy day outside of the house. I don't think when I finish this, I'm going to get in the shower and I'm going to be off to the races, doing business and all this sort of stuff. So I probably wouldn't get a video up anyways, but this is appropriate doing it this way. You saw the thumbnail. YOMIKO CALLET is going back to Japan. I believe she's going tomorrow. I know she's going tomorrow. At what time tomorrow, I don't know. And I tell you what, guys, anybody that had anything to do with Jerry definitely knew how sweet and supportive and loving she was in typical Japanese fashion to all things that Jerry tried to do. But those of you that knew Jerry and YOMIKO a little bit better, I'm sure will agree with everything I'm going to say. And if you do and if you don't, please comment down below. I mean, that's fine. Yes, she played the role of the typical Japanese wife in that they were there to serve the husband, and she did that beautifully. She was very, very quiet. Even when she did talk, I had trouble understanding her because of the language barrier. She was extremely bright, and I will get to that later too. And I know that the language barrier and her grasp of the English language frustrated her quite a bit. Ralph, help me out here, Ralph. You know, that type of thing. But anyway, she played that role perfectly. Okay? As well, she wanted to. But if you knew Jerry better and their relationship better, you would know that for all Jerry's genius, and he was an absolute literal genius, not just trumpet, but finance and different areas of life. Basically, anything he wanted to take a look at and study, he would get to the root of the problem or the issue. I mean, he was extremely bright. But on top of that, guys, he was every bit the absent-minded professor. Typical Einstein. They say that Einstein had a house on the Princeton University campus, okay? And every day after he was done teaching or whatever he did, he literally needed somebody to get him home. He could not find his way home. He was so engrossed and so invoked in E equals MC squared and all that sort of stuff that he so often, regular life just seemed a mystery to this genius. And Jerry could certainly get to the store and back. That's not what I'm talking about. But he definitely had those qualities in that he was focused on this and he didn't want to bother with that. Perfect example, guys, is he had no interest whatsoever in a computer. None. Not that he couldn't figure it out if he decided he didn't want to. He took away from what he wanted to do, and he had no interest in it. If you got an email from Jerry, if you got a flyer in the mail about some new mouthpiece, or if you got a notice from, Super Chops Incorporated that Jerry was going to be at the ITG, any of that, all of that, 100% came from YOMIKO. Oh, she was a whole lot more than just being the demure, sweet housewife. Oh, she ran Super Chops, got those books published, the CDs out. Oh, God. Guys, she was a huge part of the operation. Here's another one that I think is cute, to tell you the truth. When the channel started, I told you my biggest supporter was Jerry. Every day, YOMIKO had to boot up the computer to get on the YouTube to every single day. YOMIKO had to do it because Jerry didn't know how to work the computer. And Jerry, in his own personal fashion, always wanted to watch the video several times. Check out my chops, check out my tone, and then he'd call me. YOMIKO had to drop what she was doing and come, Jerry, look, put your hand right there. When you want to watch it again, Jerry couldn't do it. So you think about Jerry's business. It was not a Fortune 500 business, but think about all the facets of it. And yes, Jerry designed the mouthpieces, the trumpets, and all that sort of stuff. Everything else was YOMIKO. And I'll tell you what, even through the broken English, she was extremely smart. Extremely smart. And maybe on the level of Jerry. That wouldn't surprise me, but who knows what their actual IQ is. I don't think either of them know, but she was extremely bright. And I'll tell you what, if anybody crossed Jerry in any way, shape, or form, they had YOMIKO to deal with. She was one tough cookie. And I didn't know this for the longest time. For the longest time. When Jerry passed away, I'm going to say 3 months after, Joe Avella and I, who was a very, very dear friend of Jerry, he might have been actually closer to Jerry in many ways than I was. We had the trumpet thing going, but he connected on a different level. He and I, even though he lived in Puerto Rico, he and I met up in Staten Island and went to, wanted to take YOMIKO out to lunch. Well, YOMIKO would not hear it. She made us a soup to nuts, the most beautiful, traditional Japanese dinner, from miso soup to tofu and steamed veggies, and oh my God, it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. And Joe and I just talked for hours and hours and hours about Jerry. And YOMIKO certainly was there, and she added her 2 cents. Oh yes, remember, I'm not doing a good impersonation. But another time, now, as you know, I took over his mouthpiece business. Okay? Now, if you know anything about me, I'm a teacher first, I'm a trumpet player second, I'm a husband, a father, blah, 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 brother, everything right down the line, a physical culturist and everything. I am a businessman, about 100th on that list. Okay? So when I took over the business, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And several people did everything they could to take advantage of that. Yes, they absolutely did. Now, you guys stop. You have no idea who I'm talking about. Don't try to figure out who it was and who was taking it. No, you don't know. Trust me, you don't know. I will go right out here because everybody's going to try to surmise. It was not Kyle Schmier. Kyle Schmier was very, very nice to me. It's not like we were close or anything. He got the trumpets, I got the mouthpieces, and never the twain shall meet. But the reason that I bring him up is when I was getting bamboozled by several people, I would call Kyle. And Kyle would say, you know what, Ralph, I really don't know anything about the mouthpieces. He says, you know who would know? YOMIKO. And there was twice that YOMIKO told me exactly what was, no, Ralph, no. Jerry would not want that. I will send you invoices. You will see. I'll open my books for you, Ralph. I have it all right here. And nickel to nickel to nickel, she had it all documented back. So, and this happened. And, you know, Ralph, be careful of him. I'm telling you, Ralph, be careful of him. Jerry liked him. I did not trust him, Ralph. I mean, in her own way, she couldn't have been a bigger help to me as far as that's concerned. Now, how many years later? The mouthpieces just take care of itself. You order one, I send it out. When I need more, I order more. You know, it's very cut and dry. But again, The noob at the beginning needed some counseling, and YOMIKO was there for me. So I could go on for hours about what happened. She was at my daughter's first communion. My daughter loved her. I mean, everybody loved her. Everybody loved her. But anyway, YOMIKO, God bless you. God bless you. And thank you so much for taking care of our wonderful friend Jerry. I didn't know it at the time, but man, oh man, did you take care of him. Fiercely so, and I love you more for it. I hope that this trip back to Japan affords you everything you want and deserve. This is crazy. I didn't mean to do this. We all love you, YOMIKO. Good luck. Keep in touch.